I'm going to give a quick summary of auto investigation and remediation. As far as automated security actions go, Defender's offering is pretty good. You can utilize the features to detect, investigate, and respond to threats without having to touch anything yourself. It saves you time and effort without negatively impacting your security posture. To configure it for deployment, you can navigate to Endpoint Settings in the Microsoft Defender portal. Under Permissions and Device Groups, you can specify a custom device group that you want to apply the policy to. I'd recommend any at-risk endpoints or critical infrastructure to be set to different remediation levels at your discretion. You have the option of no automated response, semi, or full response. The difference essentially is that all actions under the semi-response capacity require administrator level approval before being able to take effect and actually quarantine items. When specifying the devices, you can either use naming conventions, domain, tagged group assignments, and operating systems to specify your scope. If you wanted to, you could also restrict access of device groups to particular users. That's the configuration side of things done. Now we can look at how Defender presents information that's part of automated investigations and responses. We can either review automated responses when they are raised as an incident or alerts as I've shown previously, or we can navigate to the Action Center. We're able to filter for any automated actions that have taken place historically. Looking at the most recent automated actions that have occurred, let's use this quarantine file action for our example. If we click into the investigation page, Defender provides us with an investigation graph, which makes it easy to immediately understand the impact of an event and the activity that's occurred. As part of this investigation, Defender has analyzed about 2,000 separate entities. We can see that file processes, drivers, and common persistence methods are all within scope and completed in about 5 minutes, which would be very hard for an analyst to replicate manually. You can click into the different evidence summary sections, and Defender will give you an idea of what it found and whether there is any threat associated with it. By expanding on the evidence section, it provides all evidence that it believes was actually malicious and related to the exploit. By opening this tab, we can see further information on the finance.iso file that was blocked and deemed to be malicious. We get the original file hash, any virus total information, how often it's been seen worldwide, all the information that you would expect, especially when you're investigating an alert. You can add an allow or block list for that file, and you can open the file page for even further information. Under the log section, you get a step-by-step breakdown of every automated action that occurred. From the outset here, when Defender quarantined the file, we can see the original file path. The system then checks to see if automated remediation was covered, and we can see that the level is fully automated. Defender then prepared the machine for investigation by establishing a session and started doing its investigation procedure. It skipped the file path option because it already had it. It then moved on to getting all active network connections currently displayed on the device and all drivers currently running and installed. It worked its way through and completed all the actions that I'd expect from any investigation performed by an analyst, again in about 5 minutes. This is a really effective tool and allows you to be flexible and consistent when you maybe don't have the manpower to have an analyst review every single alert in real time. Obviously, I'd thoroughly recommend anyone going back and reviewing what Defender has done, but from my experience, it's always been reliable and made good choices. And that brings us to the end of my demonstration on auto investigation and remediation within Microsoft Defender for Business.